Hi and welcome to Market Vision Short Takes. I'm Deepak Shenoy, and today's episode is about how mutual funds will not accept third-party investments, third-party checks starting November 15th, 2010. The new rule for mutual funds is if you buy a mutual fund, the check you present has to be from your own account from November 15th. And why? The short answer, the fraud that used to happen. Long answer, well, let's show you. The way the fraud used to work was, let us assume there was an investor named Raj Khanna, and he had an advisor called Amit 420 Advisor, just a name. He would usually give a form in his own name and a check from his account to his advisor, and then a strange set of things would happen. Amit would throw Raj's form away. He'd take a new form in his own name using his own bank details, but uses the check from Raj. Sends it to the mutual fund. The mutual fund opens an account in Amit's name, but takes Raj's check. And then Amit says, I want to exit. Mutual fund obviously doesn't know what's happening. It says, okay, I'll give you the money back. It credits Amit's bank account, because remember, the form was created using Amit's bank details. And then Raj, on the other hand, doesn't even know that this has happened. He probably doesn't check his account every day. He's probably a good friend of Amit's as well. And he does not probably realize for months that this is happening. After a few months, he probably wants to check on the status of the mutual fund. He calls up Amit. Amit is nowhere to be found. And then he calls up the mutual fund and says, what happened to my money? And then the mutual fund says, oh, well, we have your check, but it was given in someone else's account. This kind of fraud started to become fairly significant. So AMFI released a circular saying no third-party investments anymore. Therefore, and Amit cannot open an account with Raj's money. If there's a check from Raj's account, the mutual fund account will be opened in Raj's name. There are certain exceptions though. Parents and close family can invest up to 50,000 rupees in their family member's name. Joint account holders can invest in accounts, in mutual fund accounts where the other holder is the first name on the mutual fund. So for instance, if I have a joint account with my wife, I can give a check from that account to get a mutual fund investment in my wife's name, because she's a joint holder of the account. FIIs can invest through their custodians, and employers can deduct a certain amount from the payroll of their employee and invest that in a mutual fund as a SIP. These are the 4 exceptions that are allowed. And further to this, there are different requirements by certain funds. So some fund says, well, give me a check in the name, not just the name, but I also want the PAN number to reflect in the check. So earlier you would usually give a check saying HDFC mutual fund account, say equity fund, and the money would go there. But now a fund like Franklin Templeton says, well, you don't just need the fund name and the scheme name, you also need the PAN number of the investor. So this gives an added set of protections. Most funds will require you to register multiple bank accounts. So if you have multiple accounts, there's a little form that you need to fill, and then subsequently you can invest as many times as you want from each of those accounts. They may choose to reject investments if names don't match, and they probably will have to match perfectly. What now if you take a demand after a banker's check? The mutual funds will then require a certificate from the banker that this DD was created from the funds drawn on from an account in this name. So therefore, you can't even go to a banker and say, well, give me a DD now, let me go and put it in a mutual fund. You also need a certificate from that bank. You need to be aware of fraud in general. So some standard practices are write your name on the back of the check that you give to a mutual fund and write your PAN number. Give your email address in every mutual fund form. Usually what happens is they get back to you by an email in a day or two that says, well, you have invested so much money and we have your investment. What you should do if you don't get that email is start getting worried. So if you have your email address, usually they'll get back to you. You can also go online, you can check at Carvey or CAMS Usually the same day or the subsequent day they will have a confirmation of your transaction, so you can go there and say, tell me what happened, here's my email address, here's the mutual fund company I invested in. They'll send you back an email saying, oh well, yes, we've processed your investment, and so you've gotten allocated so many units and so on. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'd love your comments. Email us. Thank you.